up, everybody? Thanks for checking out the video. I'm going to do a quick video today on this Makita reciprocating saw that I've got. Probably going to keep the details on it pretty short, just since I purchased it recently and I don't have a whole lot of runtime on it. So I'm just going to probably talk about a few of the different specs on it and things that stand out to me, and then I'm just going to cut to some footage of it cutting through some standard different timber and pine boards I've got here, just to show some of the capabilities and go through that. So overall, kind of thoughts on it. I went with this. Obviously, I've got a lot of other Makita tools, so just sticking with the Makita battery platform. But just going through a few of the things that stand out to it with me. Number one, it is brushless motor, so that's nice. But going into some of the finer details, I like on the trigger here, it's a little bit larger trigger. It's almost like a 2-finger trigger, and it feels a little more natural to me using it. Since it's like a two-handed tool, and for kind of heavier duty applications, I guess, for some reason having 2 fingers on the trigger here feels like, I don't know, it just feels more correct to me and a little bit more stable versus I've used some other sawzalls or reciprocating saws that have like a single finger trigger, and I can't really explain why, but it just doesn't feel as proper to me. This just feels like a really good like purchase on it, and just feels right with the 2 fingers, almost like more control over it. So trigger wise, I do like that feature of it. Up here you do have 2 different speeds, kind of speed 1, speed 2, and then in the middle it locks out the trigger. Haven't really had much time to function through that. Cutting wood, I think you stick to speed 2 mainly. I want to say speed 1 has a little bit lower max, I guess, RPM for the reciprocating action, and I think that's maybe more for metal applications. I could be wrong on that though. But that's kind of the main 2 speed functions there. You do have a Rafter Hook on the side over here, so if you're working on something up in your rafters, it will hang off that. Like I said, pretty new, so I haven't had to really test that out or had a use for it, but I do like that it's there. I can see the purpose for it and how it would be functional, the functionality of it, and how it could be useful in certain, times and applications. So I do like that it has it. Folds out of the way nice. And then I've kind of talked about this on a couple of my other Makita tools. In your battery tray here, I like that they add 2 metal sleeves here to the plastic housing, and I think that kind of just beefs up that area where your battery slides on. And Sawzall's kind of, I guess, like a construction, or I guess a destruction tool for tearing things apart, and I like that those metal sleeves kind of beef up that area to strengthen the tool. You also get, most Makita tools have 2 rubber bumpers here, but they add 2 more on the back side. So overall, when you slide your battery on here, it's very stable on there and doesn't rattle around. And I think that's good for an application like this, where you get some vibration with these tools and it keeps your battery nice and stable. So I bought this as a bare tool. When I do have ran it, I usually run it with a 5 amp, but you could also, I suppose, run a 2 amp hour battery on it. But overall, for the weight of it, it is kind of for a cordless reciprocating saw, maybe in the middle or towards on the lighter end. But I don't notice much difference between the 2 amp and the 5 amp on there. And I think just for the power rating of this tool, to get kind of the max use out of it, I think just go ahead and go with the larger 5 amp. It's got a good rubber over mold over here. I do like that. And then this guy slides down like that and lets you adjust your shoe out here. It's got maybe 3 or 4 different settings there. Kind of depth settings for your blade. And then your chuck here for your blade is kind of a nice feature as well, where it stays kind of locked open. So it's a one-handed operation to click in your blade like that. You can see that automatically turned. And then when you open it up, it also has like a spring feature in there that slightly ejects out the blade. And that's nice for, I think after you're running for a while, obviously the blade gets hot. So you can grab in there and just eject it one hand and not touch the blade, and it'll pop out on the ground. So I'll show that again. Like you can see how that's locked open, and you push your blade in and it snaps in good. And then if you're done, pops right out and good to go. So I think that's actually really probably all the details I can really go over on it, just because I honestly haven't owned it that long. And I also haven't used it a ton. But those are just kind of the few things on it to me that stand out and kind of make it a pretty nice tool overall. Makita does make the X2 36 volt version. I didn't really see the need for it. I like the size of this. It's not their subcompact one, but still kind of a good size and weight combination, I think, as well as power level, to compete overall and cut through really anything you have to do. So I'll go ahead and cut just to showing it cut through some boards here, and I think that'll end the video. Thanks.